I'm sorry, I'm a jerk. I made half of you read this for yourselves already. We do have the Summoners War 804 update notice. Of course, it's not going to be as exciting as Reloaded. This is just a very minor update. I think the most interesting thing in this whole thing is, I'm not sure if we've seen this in the last few updates, but this little Com2verse is very subtle, but this little Com2verse banner over here, which we talked about the whole Com2verse thing and the NFTs and the cryptocurrency. They stopped talking about it for a bit. I'm curious if they're going to be pushing it some more. Anyway, the Summoners War 804 update notice. Again, don't get excited like this is going to be something anywhere near as impactful as Reloaded. This is a very minor update. Rune Power Visual Effects Improvements. They're calling it improvements. It now takes just slightly longer because they needed a special animation when you upgrade your runes to make it more exciting. So it takes a little bit longer. This is a downgrade. It's come to us. So this is a downgrade from what we had before, because now it takes a little bit. It's still, at the end of the day, it's still an improvement over prior to 8.0, but this just takes like an extra 1 second to see what you actually roll. It's not an improvement. It's a downgrade. We also have the Cars Dungeon quality of life improvements. Most notably, ranking for each dungeon has been added so you can see the absolute fastest teams. And I see a lot of questions on this as well in different videos. Mine and the other ones is like, when you see a super fast team, you're like, oh, is this a reliable farming team? Like, the fastest teams are not going to be reliable farming teams. The fastest teams are just for records and the cloud and whatever. Like, oh, I got a 17-second team or whatever. It's not going to be the best farming teams. The best farming teams are slightly slower, but it's hard to get very fast dungeon teams that are consistent, because the AI needs to work a certain way in those super speed teams, and you know AI is not going to be consistent. That's the real problem, is AI is not ever consistent. If it was, then those teams would be more reliable. But we have the ranking over here. We also do have, personally, I don't see why this was added. Now saved by B10, Abyss Normal, and Abyss Hard. It was saved by B10 and Abyss in general. Both these, Abyss Normal and Abyss Hard, were just consolidated as one to the best of my knowledge, so I'm not sure why they changed it. I don't really care that much. If people like it, then people like it. But I feel like if people are going to be farming, they're either going to be farming B10 still, or they're going to be farming Abyss Hard. I can't really imagine too many people are going to be farming Abyss Normal, but that's an assumption. If you guys are farming Abyss Normal, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'm wrong. It's entirely possible. What else do we have? Power Up Circle quality of life improvements. You can now use up to 100 monsters as material. I thought you could have already done that. Apparently, I was not paying attention to how many you could use as materials before. This next one is pretty nice. Monsters that are available for skill level ups are now displayed first if you sort monsters by the buy monster feature. I was always curious why they did not implement this. It would be so easy for them. But now, like for example, if you want to scalp a Clara, it's going to be shown first if you sort by the buy monster feature, so you don't have to like go sort and be like, oh, how do I get to the purees? There's somewhere in here. I just have to keep scrolling. Much easier to do it this way, especially if you're trying to skill up 5 billion high elementals for whatever reason, because you thought it'd be a really good idea to make 20 Elenas, and now you have to keep fusing skill ups. I'm not fusing, second awakening skills. Then we have the, what is this? The quantity of the monster to be used in the monster info screen. Oh yeah, you tap and hold, and now you can keep increasing by there instead of just doing this 100,000 times. It's less of an issue since you can just auto select now, which kind of takes care of it. But these are nice quality of life improvements, except for this one. This is a terrible quality of life improvement. We do have the Siege Battle Season 13 rewards, Planetary Idol Totems. Some people were commenting that this is a League of Legends skin, that they kind of got inspired from this. I don't know. I don't play League of Legends, so Guild Shop, Guild Seal Shop, new products release, most notably the unicorns. We have some changes to Summoner's Way. Not really anything impactful for 95% of us that are already way past Summoner's Way, since we've been playing for years and years and years and years and years. Shop building, cost of certain buildings. I don't quite understand this. Okay, like these are one-off purchases, so they reduce the cost of this. People are complaining that the mana is for rune upgrades is like 1 million mana to upgrade a rune. I don't remember the actual number for upgrading rune from 0. Those you keep spending that every single day. Well, as long as you get runes that you want to actually upgrade, which, I mean, most people don't, but you keep spending that every single day. This is just a one-time purchase. It's a 40,000 mana stone change. It's nice to alleviate the burden for new players, but ultimately, this is not going to make very much of a dent, because the amount of mana it takes to upgrade runes, the amount of mana it takes to do other stuff is just crazy. Even upgrading monsters, even like 6-star monsters takes a lot of mana, and some of you might be realizing that now after 8.0, how much mana actually takes to upgrade some of these things, evolve some of these things. Quality of life improvements, just minor things over here. The engraved summon list resets, notification pop. But this is really why we got 804. This is why we get any quality of life improvements right here. Shop efficient special pack, limited time offer. I had to double check. I had to do a double take on this. So I was like, which one is the new pack? I'm just going through the packs. I'm like, I can't even tell. They all look the same to me. Unless it's a Transcendent Scroll pack or like a Transmog pack. Most of the other stuff looks the same. It's like exclusive pack that's got the same things as the exclusive pack we got in 2 weeks ago and the same as we got months ago. Yeah, this is why we get these little updates so they can stick new packs in here. And then we have skill description modifications. This looks like it's different. I guess it was already a 50% chance with the Dark Indra, which most people don't have anyway. I guess it was already, since it's a skill description, it's not a change. It's not a bounce or adjustment or anything like that. It's just a skill description change. This is for 2 turns. It was a 2-turn brand before, and this I assume it was just a 50% chance before, and they just didn't mention it in the skill description before. But for the most part, it's just very minor update. A couple little quality of life improvements for upgrading units and for early game players. But we have a new pack, so there we go. That's the real reason for this update. Anyway, that's it for this one. Sorry I was late. I will see you as always in the next one.